Right, we have... okay, let's do 10 minutes more for the last question. I think you already talked a lot about it. And then after we will take some questions from the audience. Okay. So, what's your plans for the future?
In addition to what I said, buy a yacht, maybe? No. That'd be kind of cool. Put the web development team on there. No, that won't get any work done. Well, right now, the current plans is to sort of try and solidify our processes right now. So we're running a Scrum, but we're just about to try something a little different, and it's called. Where did I write it down somewhere? Specification by example. This is still Scrum in itself, but it's more close knit with the client. So in essence, we're basically, even though we're maybe 5,000–6,000 miles apart, because our client's from Sweden, we sort of have a daily Scrum. So the whole, we're actually right now we have a 2-week sprint, and we're about to change that into 1 month. And the first 1 or 2 weeks, we still haven't quite figured this out yet, is that we're going to be specifying the sprint with the client over video conference with the whole team. So right now the team is 5 people, 2 devs, QA, sort of designated sort of, well, 3 devs, right? QA, then the designer in there, in the room. And just hash out the whole sprint right there and then. So we're going to try that. I have no idea how it's going to go. Apparently it's going to be disastrous for the first 2 sprints, but that's part of the learning experience. And then try and move towards the product that we have in mind. So myself and Andreas, we have a product idea that we want to work on. It's just finding the time. We've put the onus also on the team to give them some, because when they work on client projects, they work on it and they finish it, and then they don't really get a whole lot out of it apart from, yep, I've finished it now. But what do they get? So in some ways we want to give back to them. So if they could sort of put an idea forward and get some of the team to buy into that, we'll give them the time to go and develop that idea. And
so you're doing like Google, right?
Yeah, it's essentially the part. And then somehow, if it comes out to something, the company will try and support it. And if they want to, spin it off as a new company. I mean, why not just let them go with it? The whole, I've been thinking about all the people that we hire. If they come and go into another company, it will only improve the Thai IT dev ecosystem, because right now there seems to be a massive shortage of devs in Thailand right now. I see this average every day, and there's developers out there, but not at the caliber that we want. So, and the few that we do sort of get trickling in, or just start to get more. Well, they're starting to come across them a bit more frequently than maybe 3 years ago. Before 3 years ago, we had to sit there and train them and then sort of work it through, and it's a very slow process of getting them up to speed, getting sure that they, research the most up-to-date techniques and knowledge as best as possible, rather than just pick up everything off from another time block, which they script off somewhere else and isn't exactly quite up to par with, say, Western standards. But now that's actually quite changing a lot right now. So there's a lot of smart people that start to have their own GitHub accounts, which is really impressive these days. So so try and do that.
Yeah. Good.
We're also working on our own products. I think that's the natural way to go. Like Jan said, development as a service is only scalable so far. So building your own technology is the way to potentially go beyond that. We are now implementing kind of a 10% rule where 10% of the time can be spent on either on products or kind of self-betterment, whatever that is, learn a new platform, or get kind of deep dive into a particular skill, whatever that may be. So we're working on an in-house tool for us to use and make our own processes more efficient. We're also working on starting a platform which will help automate some of the app marketing services that we do manually right now. Next step is to try and get a footprint in a Western country. So right now everyone's here. We do work with a lot of international clients, but because we're international, they look at us as they're outsourcing. So to really be able to charge kind of Western prices, we want to have someone on the ground, open a small sales office. That's likely to be London. So just have really small team, 1, 2 people there who can actually deal directly with clients, allow us to charge kind of much higher margins for the same kind of work. And also right now we're trying to develop user experience to be a core competency. So we've offered some of the services, kind of basic services as part of every development job, but now we're really learning about researching and doing usability testing and all the things that actually are done before even writing a specification. So we see that this is a way to differentiate ourselves. So if we're going into London, it's super competitive there. We will be slightly lower cost because our development is offshore. Our app marketing has been one of our kind of main ways of differentiating so far, that we can actually help advise on monetization strategy. We can help with the launch marketing after doing the development, but we see going even further back to the very kind of inception of the idea and testing that and helping to inform the design process is the best way to go.
Again, products. As well as products, we've got a couple of other ideas brewing as well. One is that we're building a learning portal for a learning portal. So we're going to have a website called learn.oozou.com, which is going to include a video series for prospective customers to learn about what things like Agile mean. Okay, so what's happening, we're seeing more and more now, are customers that are coming with traditional businesses, often very successful businesses, but absolutely no clue about technology. And I think there's some fear at the moment of entrepreneurs and startups coming along and disrupting their industry and taking their entire business away. I mean, look at things like Uber, for example. So these guys are now waking up and wanting to do stuff, but they really don't have any technical skill or technical knowledge to know where to start. So we're building a portal which is really going to take these kind of guys right from, okay, you've got a great business, you want to, get it on the web, and helping them, go through that process a bit. I think the other thing we want to do is do some more expansion for sure, but we're sort of a bit torn between doing more expansion and moving more heavily into products. When you're building customer applications, the problem is it's always difficult to get really passionate about it because it's not your baby. And we would love to be doing products. I would love to be, getting all my staff, giving them some skin in the game, if you will, and everybody getting really passionate about our own products. So that's definitely part of what we want to do in the future.
Listening to these guys talk about how hard it is to scale a services and develop a services business, and thinking that we're trying to scale a services and design business, and we're either really stupid or smart. We'll find out. But maybe one approach we're taking to that is thinking, listening to you guys, I think we're actually thinking about how to productize a services business and turn that into a product. And that's kind of an interesting thing that we're trying to do. Something, if I had kind of a big blue sky thing that I think is really interesting for us to work on for the future, is that we in aggregate have a lot of interesting data right now. We have, we manage the Google Analytics and SEO and all our analytics tools, Moz and all these things for 1,050 sites. Big companies have great data, but small businesses don't have great data about what really works on a website. And our ability to aggregate this data and understand better what's really working, and then to think about ways that programmatically we could manage that. So for instance, we're building in A/B testing, but what if we could scale tests on buttons across the thousands of client sites without necessarily even asking them? We're just trying different variables, and we would know what was working and what was not working. And what if we could just programmatically make those changes so that as we kind of went through kind of challenger and champion A/B testing, the deployment of that up against thousands of sites was just as instantaneous as picking the winner and evolving to the next test. I think that could be a really interesting area. If there's a ambitious data scientist in the audience, we're always going to be looking for that magical person who could help us put some of this together.